Hi there, welcome to my channel. Now that we've completed all 7 energy levels in my previous series of videos, I'm focusing on a brand new topic today. Okay, to be totally honest, I only heard back from one subscriber with a topic suggestion for this week's video. And you know who you are. I want to thank you for suggesting this topic, as I really do think it will help many other subscribers, and that goodness will flow right back to you. So as the title of this video conveyed, the topic is work-life balance, which is so important, especially during this time of COVID. You know, I was always puzzled by the term work-life balance because isn't work part of our life? What if we just called it life balance? Anyway, the Merriam-Webster definition of balance is the ability to move or to remain in position without losing control or falling. And if you ever watched a tightrope walker closely, what do they do to maintain their balance? Well, as I was reflecting on that metaphor, I came up with 4 ways they keep their balance. The very first thing you notice is the long balancing pole they carry. To me, this pole signifies the people we trust. It could be certain family members, close friends, co-workers, or maybe a therapist. This is the person or people we reach out to when we need to confide in someone or just want to vent about something. Hence, one aspect of maintaining balance is that it's so important that we have at least one person with whom we can trust and confide in, just like the balancing pole for the tightrope walker. These people help to lower our center of gravity, so to speak, and ground us so that we're not wobbling around on the tightrope of life. The second thing you notice is that the tightrope walker continues to move forward on the rope. To me, this conveys faith with action. My idea of faith doesn't mean a certain religion. Rather, I see faith as the decision to truly believe in an invisible power that benefits all. Now, before you start thinking this is naive or woo-woo, think about how we automatically believe in cellular technology or radio waves and microwaves. Yet we cannot see any of those with our naked eye. So faith works the same way. While you can't see it, you know there's an energy there, a positive one. Now, the second part of moving forward was action, meaning that the tightrope walker must keep taking one more step on the rope in order to get to the other side. Otherwise, she would eventually fall if she just stayed frozen on the rope. And I feel these two things, faith with action, go hand in hand, as the tightrope walker wouldn't just stop in the middle of the rope waiting for something to happen with blind faith. Rather, she takes that next step with the faith that she'll make it to the other side. The third thing a good tightrope walker shows is composure. Composure meaning that the person remains calm and in control of herself amidst the risk of being suspended in midair on a small rope under a lot of pressure. And finally, the fourth and final aspect is presence. And what I mean by presence is that the person is focused and in the present moment with each step she takes. I mean, imagine if the tightrope walker was freaking out, multitasking, looking at her cell phone instead of holding on to that balancing pole. She would be missing those 2 critical traits, composure and presence. And that would not be a good ending for the performer, nor would it be for balancing your life. So let's bring all 4 aspects together: trust, faith with action, composure, and presence. You're probably asking, well, how do those relate to work-life balance? Well, let's try out a real-life example. There may be those of you who might be trying to balance working from home. Let's say you're married with 2 kids under the age of 12 maybe, and work full-time between 40 to 50 hours per week on top of your never-ending parental duties. Now let's apply each of those concepts to that scenario. First, you might be feeling stressed because your work is always there at home along with your spouse and kids, and you may feel like you can't give your work or your family all, and you may feel like you're failing in both areas. So let's start with finding that balancing pole to ground you. Who can you reach out to? This should be someone who you can be your real self with, warts and all. Someone you can trust, perhaps a family member, a neighbor, an old friend. Might you be able to plan a get-together with him or her? Perhaps a walk in the forest preserve or an outdoor park or outdoor cafe during this COVID time. If you're long distance, then perhaps a FaceTime or an old-fashioned phone call. Now, if you can't find anyone to speak with immediately, what if you wrote yourself a letter to get it out? Then later you can seek out someone. Sometimes just getting it out on pen and paper can make a world of difference. And I want you to actually write it down instead of typing on the computer. Science shows that actually physically writing things down make a huge difference. Now imagine that you either spoke with that trusted person or you wrote your feelings down in a letter and you felt so much better just getting things off your chest. What might you do next? How can you employ faith with action to improve your situation? In other words, how can you continue to move forward with faith and take that next small step? It doesn't have to be a big step on the tightrope of your life. Perhaps you could set aside some me time, either early in the morning before work begins and the kids get up, or late in the evening after the kids are in bed. Even if it's just a 5-minute meditation, it can really make a difference. Or perhaps you have a better idea for taking one small self-care action, like putting on your favorite music or dancing or you name it. Next, how can you practice maintaining your composure? Perhaps during a Zoom call at work and your kids are making noise in the background, instead of looking at that situation like it's a real pain in the what if you looked at it like an opportunity to practice your composure skills? It might sound funny, I know, but give it a try. Sometimes the way we look at things makes all the difference in your energy. And our energy is contagious to those around us. Finally, there's presence. What if you gave yourself a challenge to see if you could be fully present with whatever it is you're doing? For example, when you're on a Zoom call at work, what if you actively listened on the call and didn't check email or social media, and you also didn't think about what you needed to do for your next meeting, or what you're baking for dinner later that evening, or what you're going to say next on the call, but you really heard what the person or people on the other end of the Zoom call were saying. Not just the words, but also their emotions behind the words. Or perhaps at the dinner table, just really listening to what each person has to say without labeling the person as a son or daughter or husband, wife, spouse, or other family role. I encourage you to give it a try, as I think you'll be amazed at the results. If these tips were helpful, please feel free to share this video with others and subscribe to my channel. Now I know you probably hear people asking to subscribe all the time and it can be annoying, but if this resonates with you and it was helpful, please consider it. As I shared in my earlier videos, I really hope I can provide guidance which will help galvanize you to take action so that your consciousness grows and you grow as a human being. For next week's topic, I'm not going to give up and I'm going to ask you guys again. I'd love to hear from you, my subscribers. What else would you like to hear about? Please let me know in the comments section. I promise I'll read them all, and I'll do my best to do your topic justice and help add good vibes to your life. And I should mention one more important thing. If ever there's anything that I say that you don't agree with or doesn't resonate with you, please just discard it. Always use your discernment and let your inner compass and intuition lead the way. With that, I wish you peace, love, and joy. And as always, keep the faith and let your light shine.